Dedrick, how you doing? Got your project up here. Good job. Yeah, I mean, you've probably gathered by now through reading through some of the other projects. The idea behind this project is to be able to look at the materials used to make a specific package and to determine the sustainability of those materials based on how they're assembled, printed, and basically transported. So what we're looking at here is you did a good job here describing aluminum. Oh, and I also wanted to mention the reason we do this is kind of to prepare you for the course project, which you're going to be doing exactly this. You're going to be designing 3 different parts of a trade show exhibit that all need to be designed sustainably. Now, how do you design sustainably and how do you present it? Well, it's all research and descriptions, including mostly the material. So that's why this project is so important. We can't say when we're determining sustainability, we can't say things like recycled plastic. That doesn't mean anything. You've probably read a couple of times in the discussion so far, somebody says, well, and the paper and the plastic they use is recycled plastic. Well, that doesn't give us any information whatsoever. We need to know what is the process to make the plastic. There's thousands of different kinds of plastic. Well, I don't know about thousands, but definitely hundreds different kinds of plastic. And we need to know what kind of plastic. It's a food grade plastic. We know that because it's used to package food, right? So things like that. Is it PET plastic? Is it vegetable based plastic? Is it petroleum based plastic? And these are all things that you really need to tell in your analysis. Okay, so you have the pieces of aluminum are buried within you or are extracted. We need to know, well, you don't have to resubmit or anything, but what I'm saying is that we would need to know how they are extracted. And is that process of extraction more or less sustainable than perhaps using a cardboard box as a container? Like the boxes they put wine in? Alternatives, right? The aluminum is rolled and unrolled into sheets. Okay, and then you say, and so we will need to know the process behind that. Okay, but then you say after the canning process is complete, they go to have the ink labels applied. Well, we need to know what kind of ink they're using. Is it sustainable? What's it made from? Is it vegetable ink? Is it petroleum-based ink? Is it ultraviolet ink? Is it a varnish? What is it exactly? What are the materials that make that ink? In plastic or cardboard packaging. Though for this example, I'll use cardboard. Again, cardboard is an umbrella term. It could mean many, many different things. So you really want to, tell us exactly what kind of cardboard. Is it a particle board? What exactly is it? Is it recycled? Is it 100% post-consumer? Exactly. Is it virgin fiber? Really, things like that are super important. So cardboard starts out as trees, chopped down, taken to a mill to be processed. Again, they're chopped down, they're taken to a mill. They're probably trucked to a mill or trucked to a train station where they're trained to a mill. So that's something that you have to look at transportation as well. The wood of the trees is then converted into a pulp. It is dried to make either paperboard. We need to know, okay, once it's dried, what chemicals do they need to inject into that dried paperboard in order to make it adhere to each other and to bend correctly, et cetera, et cetera. So we need to know the chemicals in that process. Materials either sent to a dump or from here, used materials. Okay, and this is really super important. It's really important to know that sustainability doesn't work unless the product or the packaging or whatever the materials are disposed of properly. So it could be sustainable. I mean, in a perfect world, everything would be compost friendly, meaning that we replace our garbage dumps and our landfills with compost heaps, which eventually turn into humus, which eventually go back into the soil. So, and that could eventually be shipped to different areas, as soil. So, or sold, or there's 100 different things that could happen. The point is that Let's take a typical plastic spoon, okay? And let's say it is a petroleum-based plastic spoon, and that plastic spoon gets, once it's gone through its life cycle, it either goes to recycle, where it starts its life again, or it goes into, or it's disposed of unethically or improperly, mean it's thrown in the garbage, and it ends up in a dump. And there it sits for 1,000 years, right? So it's really, really important to understand it, that all of the pistons in this sustainability machine have to be firing. If one isn't, for in my example, the disposal of a plastic spoon, then it could put an end to the whole process. That's why it's got to be such a cooperative process, as it were. Okay? Awesome job, Dedrick. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to give me a holler. Thanks, man.